Welcome to a brand new episode of World of Figures and Gaming. Now, you may have noticed with this video, it has been added into a whole new playlist, which I call the Figures from the Vault collection. Now, bear in mind, this is a remake of Charlotte Flair, the Ultimate Edition. This is one of the remakes. I'm classifying this as a figure from the vault because it's one that's already been brought out and they've re-released it. So, this is part of the whole new playlist that I have pretty much, well, not advertised, but I have sort of said on Instagram that I am going to be doing a new playlist with these kind of figures in it. If they are re-releases, or basically the actual elites from the vault, they will be going into this playlist. If you really want to keep seeing, these videos, like, subscribe, and you will see, hopefully, you will get the playlists all come up on my page. And, well, this one will be the first edition. So, the first edition of the Figures from the Vault playlist is going to be Charlotte Flair, the re-release of the Ultimate Edition. I never actually got hold of the original version, so this I am very happy to now have in my collection. I very nearly bought the original of somebody on Facebook. Probably a few months ago, but I put it off. Then this one came up on one of the places that I get my figures from, and I said to myself, I've got to get it before it goes, because this was one of the kind of figures that was very sought for in the day, because we didn't really get many of these in the UK, if any at all. They may have all been imported at some point. So, yes, greatest hits. The Ultimate's greatest hits. Or, in my case, from the figures from the vault. So, let's get into this figure. Once again, I've forgot to actually open it before I start. Stick my elbow on the right on the funny bone. Why did they call it funny bone? I don't know, because it's not funny. Oh God. I always forget to pre-cut the sellotapes on the outside. So here we go. Charlotte Flair from the Ultimate Editions. Really like this figure. Like I say, I always wanted the original one, but this is amazing, to be honest. They actually got the face right on it as well. They've got a classic smug look on that one, and then they've got one of her smiling. But that's one head. You get different hands with her. I think, I can't be 100% sure. I think you do get slightly different hands with this one. I don't ever remember on the original Ultimate Edition you getting that kind of pose hand with the Charlotte Flair. You know, when she puts her hands out and she's got her hands like that. I don't actually remember those hands being in the pictures of the ones I've seen in the past. So this could very well be where you get that slight change on the figure. Other than that, everything else would be pretty much the same. If you own the original, you own the original. For me, I hear people cry out. It's gonna devalue the original, this, that, and the other. But as far as I'm concerned, it's not. It shouldn't devalue the original version. Because if you've got the original version, you will have a box that will surely have some sort of number or code on it that proves that that is one of the original versions. Therefore, for me, this is my opinion, but for me, that would hold more value. Now, I'm not a person that even cares about value of figures because I'm not planning to sell my figures. To me, you can't call yourself a collector if you're planning to sell the figures for profit. That is just my personal look on it. That is my personal opinion on it. You are not a collector if you are thinking value. You are just somebody that buys the figure, waits a few months, waits for a bit of value to come to it, and then you're going to sell it. That's not a collector. A collector is someone that takes that figure or whatever and has it in their collection and keeps it in their collection. But, you know, there's profit hunters everywhere, I suppose, these days. Seems to be more of them than there ever has been, but none of them ever seem to be millionaires. So, yes, we're in a crisis where people can't afford stuff, but people are happy enough to take more money off other collectors. Yeah, that is the poor world. That is the horrible world that we actually live in now. So anyway, away from my personal opinions and on people, so let's just display Charlotte Flair over here. Hang on. Display her on there. No, put your foot right. Now this one, and again, there might be that little bit difference from the first one because I don't know. I think all women from the past ones, I think they did have the toe joint, but if they didn't, this one does. It's a great figure of Charlotte Flair. I'm not the biggest Charlotte Flair fan. I will agree. I will admit, should I say. I admit I'm not the biggest fan of Charlotte Flair. Not because I think she's a rubbish wrestler. She is a good wrestler, but she is no better than anybody else as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, she's average. She is just average. You can't say she's the greatest of all time just because she's got a load of title reigns behind her name. Because for me, that's not how it works. Because those reigns that she's had, a lot of them have not been very long reigns. Especially the time when it went back and forth between her and Sasha Banks about 3 or 4 different times. So it just kept adding to Charlotte Flair's name. Is she the greatest female of all time when it comes to wrestlers? No. Never in a million years. I think there is a lot better wrestlers than Charlotte Flair. People make out that she doesn't botch, she doesn't do this, she doesn't do that. She does. She botches quite a lot. But people just look at her as something out of the ordinary, and I don't know why. Could I say who the greatest of all time is? maybe not. I like Trish Stratus was a great wrestler. Lita was a great wrestler. I wouldn't say they were the greatest of all time. I think easily in recent in the recent years, one person that could go down as one of the greatest of all time is Rhea Ripley. She has become an absolute top-notch wrestler. And I think she actually knocked the socks off Charlotte Flair. Anyway, enough of the whole Charlotte Flair. We're supposed to be reviewing a wrestling figure of Charlotte Flair. So, where do I actually go with this figure? I mean, you've got the soft goods robe and everything. I really like the soft goods robe. It really does bring out the figure. In my opinion. I can't be doing with when they bring these kind of things out with those big thick rubber outfits. To me, that's just not very good at all. The rubber outfits always seem to be 10 times bulkier than they should be. It makes the figure look chunky and everything. At least with the soft goods. Some soft goods are not brilliant. To me, if you're gonna use like the silicone rubber stuff, it needs to be underused as just like a vest. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Nothing with long sleeved. Nothing with entrance gear that comes down. Unless like they do with some of the Ultimate Editions, where they take the arms out, you can use the rubber then. But then the arms are going to always be plastic. So, it doesn't matter how you do it. To me, it just needs to be that kind of area that is a rubber type of outfit. But the Charlotte Flair figure itself, it's got a really good face on it. This is the alternate head of the Charlotte Flair, the smug look, as I would call it. It's really good. I would say they've actually got the faces bob on with this Charlotte Flair figure. Really good figure. The boots are like a the majority of the figure is like a pinkish colour, but the boots are more of like a darker pinky red. They've got more of a red tinge to them, and I've noticed that the knee pads are sort of half and half pink, and then it goes into the same colour as the boots, kind of thing. Quite nice feature, to be honest. But yeah, she's got the usual CF on the side of the boots for Charlotte Flair. Like a father Rick, he had RF, and now Charlotte's head's decided to get stuck on the turntable. But it is a really good figure. Even the smiling face actually looks really good of Charlotte Flair. Again, this is one of the better Ultimate Editions, like the Rob Van Dam that's behind her from the Ruthless Aggression era. Really good figure, and it's good to have it in the collection, because, as I say, I missed out on the original version because of, well, they didn't really come over here It was a lot of people importing them, and they sold out like that. Pretty much the scalpers more than anything, but they sold out like that, and I never ever got hold of it. And as AJ's always telling me, always waiting. And I've actually started to try and take that on board a little bit. Now I can see him sitting there saying, "Don't lie, you haven't," but I have. There is a few figures that I would really like, and I've seen some of them on the internet. But I'm sitting thinking to myself, they might come out in the Vault collection at some point. I'm really hoping. It all depends on contracts, obviously, as well. But I'm hoping that they might bring Akeem back out as a re-release. That they might bring the original Legends Hacksaw Jim Duggan in just the blue trunks with the American flag and the 2x4, because I missed out on that. I always wanted that figure and I never ever got it. And in the day, it was actually cheaper than what you would actually pay for it now. So yeah, I'm really hoping. There's a few figures that I'm really hoping actually come back out, like these and everything. And I have got a few more Vault figures that I've got to review at some point. So, but until then, this has been Charlotte Flair / rant video. But this has been the Charlotte Flair Ultimate Edition. You can't get any better than Ultimate Editions to me. They really are top-notch figures when Mattel put the minds to it, obviously. But apart from that, there's much more to come, and this is going to be, like I say, this is part of a whole new playlist. Figures from the Vault. If you keep a lookout, more will start appearing in there. If it's a greatest hits, they will be going in there. If it's a well, this is a greatest hits, but like an Ultimate Edition version, that is going in there. If it's actually the Elite Vault figures, they will be going in there. So, keep an eye out. I'm sure people will want to see some of the videos that I've got lined up next. So, until then, I'm out.